Well, it's been a couple of weeks, but we are back here with Running with the Herd on our final day of the month of March, Monday, March the 1st. We are getting close to the end of our inaugural season of Running with the Herd. It is episode 24, and we have McAlester head coach of tennis, Chris Burns, with us today. Again, Running with the Herd is brought to you by Reagan Auto and What About Bob's Restaurant. So we welcome to the show once more, Coach Chris Burns. How are you?
Oh, doing good. Thanks for having me back.
Of course you're doing good. Look at the shirt you're wearing.
You got to have the Monday shirt.
For those on radio, for those that are listening on the podcast style of things, he is wearing a bright pink shirt.
Godzilla.
With Godzilla all over it, with the drawn, fire-breathing Godzilla. It is amazing.
Possibly his mental powers or some like squiggly things coming out of his head.
Where did you find that?
So it was actually in an academy.
Okay.
That I was walking by and it screamed, I have to buy it. And then just accidentally wore it on a Monday one day and everybody laughed at me. And so now I wear it every Monday.
That's the most incredible shirt I've ever seen in my life. So I'm going to be looking at Academy now to see if I can find the...
I'll give you the brand later. You can get one for like a Tuesday or Wednesday shirt.
Sweet. I love that. Well, obviously, we had you over in volleyball. Now we have you over in tennis. So let's just get right on into it. Well, before we go into the actual season itself, what was it like getting ready for the season? Because you were going from volleyball. We were mentioning it during our, I guess, pre-interview break here. How was it like going from like off-season, post-season volleyball to off-season getting ready for the season tennis?
Rough. The watchers get to see the kids laughing at that one. It was kind of hard. I mean, getting all the volleyball stuff shut down and turned back in and trying to get around to immediately going straight back into here we go, gear up for you guys is starting to matter too kind of thing. And it was a little bumpy, but we got it done and they're actually doing pretty well this year. The boys just won the Tulsa Edison tournament on Thursday. Today's Monday. Sorry, it's been a week.
Your days,
It's been a heck of a week. If it wasn't Monday, I wouldn't know what day it was. But so they went out and won the Edison tournament. They've been right there. I'm gonna cross my fingers and knock on some wood, but should be top 8 team in the state. Place a lot of people this year at the state tournament's the goal. And the girls have been learning a lot of lessons and really making strides for. We got the 5A championships coming up, and then after that, try and make a run and get everybody to regionals and out of regionals in the state this year. But looking good.
All right. So yeah, and when you're getting ready for a tennis season, I mean, when you look at your practices and you're breaking them down, because obviously you have to have a ton of endurance to be able to play tennis. People don't really understand that, I guess, as much as they need to, because when you think of like endurance sports, you're thinking of track or cross country or soccer or things of that nature, but you move a lot in the sport of tennis. So when you're breaking down to practice, is it more, conditioning? Is it a little bit more, is it half and half with that and also your skill set on the court?
Well, in a good and a bad way, thank the Lord for ostomatics and strength and conditioning, because I've
heard that a lot this year.
I don't have to do very much of the conditioning by myself, like with the sport and take some of our time for practicing away for the skills. But we've got our Hill Wednesday on the backside of Brumley, just because why not have a special day? They love that one. That's their favorite day of the week.
The old infamous Hill.
I mean, that lets us kind of do a little more drills, and right now it's just more go play some points, kind of go see our theme, especially for the girls this year. We just got to go learn how to win. We're super young in some spots, and we're starting to put our talent out on the court. We just have trouble taking that last step, but who doesn't when they're figuring out how to play? We practice real hard to be good at the sport, and now go finish.
Right. So now you've already mentioned some of the big wins and some of the big moments that have happened in McAlester Tennis so far. What are some dates looking forward? I mean, you already kind of mentioned some of it. What are some key dates moving forward for your program getting ready for postseason play?
Well, the real fun ones we kind of get to have, I'm going to call them home events. Okmulgee's going to come down, and the Hugo started a tennis team this year, so they're going to come up and play us. And
Battle of the Buffs.
I mean, we get to host it. Maybe the last time we get to host something, depending on what the facilities end up looking like. But I mean, we get to host some things so that people actually get to watch these kids. They work so hard for everything and anything, and we go anywhere and everywhere to play.
Right.
And getting to come and watch and experience the Brumley Hill watching tennis is. I've got coaches everywhere saying this is one of the coolest spots to play tennis because of the way you get to watch. And I mean that's a key date for some of these. Most of the boys are seniors and their last run, and getting the little kids in here to watch and play, and a chance for the families to come because we usually start at 8 and hopefully get home before 11 o'clock at night. But we got really long days, but after that, really the 5A championships is the one that I care about the most, and then regionals. The other ones are kind of tune-ups, but we might have Ardmore this weekend depending on the weather.
Right.
It's always fun to go to the ADA tournaments and do well, and hopefully beat some of the ADA kids. But other than that, we've got some just regular little tournaments. But like I said, the 5As are going to be big and hopefully set us up well for regionals, and then definitely state tournament.
Now, you and I were talking, you guys just got to go to Stillwater, correct? So how was that experience?
That's always a fun place to go. I've gotten to go up a couple times and experience it, but getting to take the kids around the OSU girls play at a spot called the Michael and Ann Greenwood Tennis Center. They got built 8-10 years ago, and one of the top 5 facilities in the nation for D1 tennis, and the girls got to play on those courts this year.
That's incredible.
And having that experience and kind of watching them, I'll say freak out a little bit, but it's an impressive facility, and it can be a little scary how big and nice it is, and then afterwards getting to take them around the indoor and watching some of the history that was made. And one of the winningest coaches in D1 tennis is actually a McAlester Tennis player from 1963, Old Wadley.
That's my great uncle.
There we go. Yeah. So I mean, getting kind of to show him that he's got a whole section on the wall up there, and they're like, "Oh, this is cool." And he's
from here. Yeah,
he is you. Like, you guys can do something with this if you do, and getting to kind of watch that, and that experience was really, really neat.
And he just got inducted into the McAlester Athletics Hall of Fame here recently. My grandma Green, my dad's mom, that's her brother. So it's a small world, and he tried to get my dad to play tennis. That's a whole different story for a whole other day. And my dad did for a little bit, and he tried to, but football is more up his alley. But I mean, Coach Wadley really wanted him to come to Stillwater with him. But anyway, we're going to move on a little bit more, though. Like I said, different story for a different day. What have been some key players for McAlester Tennis up to this point for you?
This year I've got right next to me on the boys' side, Chris Whaley's a little Swiss Army knife for me. It really helped to have Wyatt Phillips, was a freshman last year and placed 8th at state, and kind of freed up a whole lot of options in the other spots, not having to worry about who's going to go take on everybody's best guy. And he does it really well with usually a smile on his face 80% of the time. But and that kind of frees up moving everybody anywhere and everywhere, and just about any combination I've got is seeming to work. And we've got Matt Lungstrom, kind of the same thing, and played 2 singles for us last year, bumped him down. I think 1 doubles is arguably the hardest spot depending on the year, but bumped him out of singles, and now he's got to have a friend on the doubles court, and absolutely adapted to it, and is tearing it up, and went to go play 2 singles Saturday with Stillwater. I'm trying to get my days, guys, I'm sorry. But I went to go play the 2 singles and did really well again, and I mean, they're giving me a lot of options. It kind of depends on where we go, who we're playing, what's where, but Alex Yurkevich came back this year, and fantastic doubles player, excellent teammate. Peyton Trammell over at the Edison tournament, we wouldn't have won it if he didn't win his last match.
More family.
Yeah.
I've got a big tennis family here.
Great. I mean, we've just on the boys' side, we've got a whole bunch of great kids that are giving it everything they got, and we're an individual sport, but they wouldn't have the success without each other. I mean, it's a great team playing an individual sport, and same thing on the girls' side. They're younger. We got a lot of juniors starting right now, but Erica's taken most of the beatings at 1 singles for all the girls, and only slightly complains about it. And then after that, we're just kind of playing musical spots, and they're all taking their roles well, depending on where they're playing. Like Taylor Williams is coming back from qualifying for state at 2 singles last year and playing 2 singles really well. Just looking at playing maybe some doubles to see if we can get a team there. We've got a couple freshmen coming around. Emma Ayers is a fantastic little doubles player for us this year, and I'm going to end up missing somebody, and I'm sorry if you're listening and I'm hurting your feelings, but I mean we've got a lot of girls that are hustling and working, and I mean a big emotional support with like Aspen's helping anybody and everybody in doubles and working through. I mean, it's just we can go down the list of all the kids, and
everyone's vital.
Everybody's helping, and they might not be playing in the top 6, but without your 8, 9, 10 guy being good, or at least being a teammate, we can't have a good team.
Right. So, again, if you're just now listening, maybe just now tuning in, this is Running with the Herd with head coach of McAlester Tennis, Chris Burns. We've got really one more question before we go on and talk to your players here. What are you most looking forward to seeing from your team the rest of the season?
I'm really excited to see, I've been starting with the boys, but when the girls figure out how to win. Like I said, we're a really young team, and they're so close. And so they don't get to hear it, but there's been a couple of different teams come and say that we're a completely different team from last year, that we're so much better, and we're more or less the same kids. So if we don't see it, there's a lot of people around that I'm going to say are scared of us, but they're recognizing how much hard work they've put in, and when they finally see and understand that their hard work is actually paying off, then it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them go win and do things. And so with the boys, once they just kind of sit back and go do it, it's going to be a great year for 5A championships, regionals, and state. They're the 3 important ones for us, and go represent well and play hard, and we should do well this year.
Awesome. So again, there's our first break here with Running with the Herd, head coach of McAlester Tennis, Chris Burns. Did I miss anything before we move on?
Not yet.
Okay, not yet. We still have time to do so. Hey, again, this is brought to you by Reagan Auto and What About Bob's Restaurant. We'll take a 60-second break and be back with some players of McAlester Tennis when we return.
Reagan Auto is a Reader's Choice Award-winning automotive repair shop. We are currently searching for an automotive technician to join our team. We're looking for someone who is energized and ready to provide quality service to our customers. Our ideal candidate will have technician experience of at least 1 year. If you're interested in this opportunity to work in a fast-paced atmosphere, email your resume to reaganauto.ok@gmail.com. What About Bob's Restaurant, the home of Bob's Sunrise Surprise, is located at 610 North Main in McAlester. What About Bob serves up your favorite comfort food 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go down and see Olivia and the gang for breakfast and lunch. What About Bob's Restaurant, open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Check them out on their Facebook page, What About Bob's, 610 North Main in McAlester.
Episode 24 of Running with the Herd, a McAlester Athletics Coaches Show. Today we're highlighting McAlester Tennis with head coach Chris Burns and also a couple of McAlester Tennis players as well. We have Chris Whaley, a returner here for us today, and also Erica Galvez, who is going to be speaking to us a little bit as well. So guys, first off, I know your first time on the radio, right?
Yeah.
And this is now, it's nothing new for you anymore. You're a seasoned vet by now, for Chris. But hey, we're going to start off with an icebreaker all the same. What's the first thing you would buy if you were given $1 million? Say you dropped $1 million in front of you right now. What would you go do with it?
I don't know, Chris, you go first. I gotta think about this one.
Oh boy.
It's $1 million. Come on.
I mean, a good vacation would be pretty nice.
Trust me. Where would you want to go? That's the question.
Oh, probably overseas, maybe Paris.
That's a nice pick.
Oh, is it my turn now?
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah, I think I'm gonna steal this answer. I would like to go just travel the world, really. If I had $1 million, I'd do whatever I want. I mean, who's gonna stop me then? So.
Anywhere,
Anywhere.
any destination comes to mind, just the first one?
Greece.
Greece. Mm-hmm. Well, what I'd do with $1 million, I'd buy one college textbook.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's actually...
Yeah.
I guess I could put it towards our college. That would have been a better idea.
Next question here. And now we're going to kind of get into tennis a little bit now that we've had our icebreaker. Do you remember how you got your start in tennis? We'll start off with either Erica or Chris.
You want me to- Oh.
I
Yeah,
mean,
actually.
you went first last time. It's only
Yeah.
fair.
His mom got me into tennis. Coach Burns' mom. I was a volleyball player before that, and she was like, "Hey, tennis would really help with your volleyball, and you should come try it." And so I was like, "Oh, okay." And then so I did. I was gonna quit. I was like, I got there and I was like, you know what, this isn't for me. I'm not gonna do it. She stopped me and she's like, "You're not quitting on me. Like, you're gonna stick this out. You're gonna try it." And I was like, you know what, I guess. So I stuck it out for 8th grade year, and I guess I sort of maybe grew to like it a little bit, and I stuck with it. So yeah, I basically just his mom got me into it, and been like that.
Good deal.
Well, I wasn't becoming the basketball pro in 8th grade that I thought I was going to be. And I still wanted to do athletics, so a friend talked me into joining tennis. I had never played on a court ever before. So I go into my freshman year. I attended a summer camp just before, and Coach Waller was there. He really helped me out along with some high schoolers, and I ended up being one of a really good junior high player, and I was thinking, well, this is working pretty well. I kind of like this, so I've kept going ever since, and I've had so much fun with my friends, so much support, a lot of help with Coach Burns too.
Well, and as Coach Burns was saying, you ended up being one of the first people he mentioned, if not the first person he mentioned, was you when it came to the boys program here. And that's a really cool, I guess, part of an inspirational story in a way, because if anyone wants to start a new sport, it's not too late to be able to join. You can be able to step on in, learn something new, and maybe even become one of the best in your field at it. So that's a pretty inspirational story all in its own right. So what has been your favorite what has been your favorite moment as members of McAlester Tennis so far?
Yeah, I'll take it. Shoot. Oh, a lot of good moments. Qualifying for state really.
Looking at Erica, she's like, I'm not ready for my moment.
And you better prepare while I'm
I'm
talking.
trying, Chris. Really hard.
Well, qualifying for state really beats everything.
Yeah.
And the whole state experience, it's really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to see all of these tennis players that are top in the state. It's really inspiring, and you get to have a whole lot of fun with the other people that go to state with you.
So when you step on the court in state, on what's rushing through your mind when it's your turn to go?
Ooh, a lot of people you can't disappoint. You got a Coach Burns sitting there. He's there to help you, but it's just a little pressure.
How can anyone wearing that kind of shirt be pressure? No, I'm kidding.
That's half the reason I wear the shirt.
To help alleviate the pressure,
That's
right?
Yeah,
You don't wear that on tournaments though. Maybe you should.
I'll give it a shot if it'll help.
It might.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, Erica.
I'm going to steal his answer again. And yeah, just the whole state experience when I qualified last year. Because Taylor and I were the only ones that qualified last year. And so it was really fun. It was basically like a big sleepover. We had a lot of fun. That morning we woke up and it was like nerve-wracking. Like we got there, the facility was huge. And we were just like, wow, we're actually here. Like she was a sophomore? Freshman? She was a freshman. I was a sophomore. And it was just like crazy. We were just like excited. It was new. It was like something like we want to do this again. Like we told ourselves that night, we were like, we got to do this again next year. Like we got to work for it. And I basically just, that whole experience was just really good.
It's crazy because a lot of people work their entire lives to be able to get to that point.
Yeah.
And you guys have both done it before you even get to your senior year, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Who have been some people that you've looked up to or considered role models to get to you where you are today? I probably asked you this question last time that you were here, but if you want to duplicate it, you can. But we'll ask, starting off with Erica.
Honestly, I would say my biggest like role model in life would be my father. He pushes me to really work for it, and whatever I do, he's very supportive. A little mean, but he's very supportive. He really pushes me to be my best, and he'll always check up on me what I'm doing. He'll be like, "How's your tournament going?" Like he'll call me. I basically look up to him. He's a very hardworking man, and yeah, basically.
Cool deal.
Well, my coaches are right there for me. They're showing me how to do everything, and that's the best role model I can have right there.
Mm-hmm.
My parents and family, I've got an uncle that was really big on tennis, performed if not one of the best in the country, one of the best in the States, then he helped me prepare a whole lot. And then I've got a whole bunch of teachers that have been here for me, really pushed me.
Cool. And then we move on forward here for the rest of the season. You guys already mentioned one big goal is to get back over to state. Any other maybe personal goals that you guys have for yourself that you want to achieve before the end of the season?
Well, let's see.
I love the whispering. You go first.
There are a lot of teams I got some beef with. I would like to beat them before the end of my senior year.
Mm-hmm. We can name drop them if you want. That's
Go ahead, go ahead.
No poster board material, Chris.
Sorry, no poster board material. No, we can't do that. You're gonna have to start people show up to the courts with signs that say, "Beat Chris."
Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Yeah, beef, it's what's for dinner. I like that too.
Yeah, Durant.
I knew it.
Oh, that's a given though. I mean, if you play for McAlester, Durant's a given. So is Ada. All those
I
guys.
love the Durant girls. They're my best friends.
I mean, you got to be friends with Durant, but hey, there's competition in there.
Yeah, I got that. Erica,
What was the question?
any personal goals that you
right.
might, other than going back to state, any personal goals that you might have?
Hopefully win more matches than I did last year. Just way more, like a good amount. Just get out there and win.
Always looking to get a little bit better
Yeah.
each year, yeah. And Chris, being a senior, any post-graduation plans that you have so far, getting closer to graduation date? How's that feeling, by the way? Are you freaking out a little bit, or is it?
Not freaking out, just feeling pretty overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's a lot, dealing with college early and dealing with high school stuff, just finishing off, having to get everything done, everything prepared.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Any post-graduation plans for you so far?
Well, I'm thinking about going into music. I wish I had a whole lot of time to do tennis in the college level.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some friends over at the college I'm planning on going to, so I will hopefully be able to keep doing tennis outside of college.
And do you want to? You don't have to mention, but do you want to mention where you are looking at going to?
Southeastern.
Sweet. I went to Southeastern. I'm a graduate of Southeastern
Yep.
of 2016. Gosh dang, that's coming up almost 10 years. What are you looking at me like that for? No, sorry, 2018.
I left at 15.
Yeah,
That's
sorry. 2016 was when I left at Eastern. So I went to Eastern first and then went down to Southeastern. So I'm still not that far behind you.
I didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah, I'm almost 29. I turned 29 a week from tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm like, oh my gosh, 30 is creeping up. All right, last one's always the fun question. It's been a pretty fun interview with you guys. Hopefully I made it a little bit nerve-wracking. What's your biggest pet peeve? I feel like it's just stewing.
I think my biggest pet peeve is when I'm trying to ask somebody a question and they'll dance around the topic, but on purpose to get on my nerves.
Does Chris do that a lot? Because by the reaction, it seems like he does.
Yeah.
That's good.
Actually.
Does Coach Burns do that a lot?
Yeah, actually. Both the Chris's here are just on my nerves constantly. I'll ask him a question. I'll be like, yeah, what are we doing for practice tonight? We're going to go outside and hit some tennis balls. Really, I would hope we were going to do that. I would really hope so. Asked him if he was going to meet me at the high school before this. He goes, no, I'm not going to do that. Meets me at the high school. Why can't you just tell me yes? Why can't you just be straightforward?
She was having that stir for a long time. She really wanted to get out.
Oh, she tells us every day.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Don't make me seem evil. I'm not.
Your biggest pet peeve, Chris?
All right. I mean, there's not a lot that really bothers me. I can just live in the moment, go with it. Shoot, we've got some jokes that go around the tennis team. Biggest one right now is look at me and good boy.
Oh my gosh.
Don't want to ask?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's funny to an extent, mostly when your friend's mom does it to your friend.
Kelly did it to
So funny.
I don't know.
Do we have to share this? Are we going to share it? You're getting red. Talking about Chris.
I don't even remember who did it to who, though.
Well, now we talked about it so much. If it's safe to say,
they just
It's
like
not-
annoying each other.
Yeah.
And so they'll get near each other and just be like, "Hey, Chris, look at me. Good boy."
that's not even a pet peeve. That's just, or does it bother you though?
I
Well,
mean,
it goes
happens
over
so
and
much.
over and he'll do it like
Yeah.
15 times within the 2.5 minutes. And yeah.
I guess that can become a pet peeve. Good boy. No, Chris, if I ever see you out in public, I'm going to start doing that now.
Oh,
no. Now look what you've done.
Should have kept it quiet.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll be rooting for you the rest of the way.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll be seeing you, hopefully, knock on wood, seeing you back in state a little bit later on.
All right.
There you go. Again, there was Chris Whaley and Eric Galvez here with McAlester Tennis. We're going to hear from head coach Chris Burns one more time before we call it today. Again, this show brought to you by Reagan Auto and What About Bob's Restaurant.
Reagan Auto is a Reader's Choice Award winning automotive repair shop. We are currently searching for an automotive technician to join our team. We're looking for someone who is energized and ready to provide quality service to our customers. Our ideal candidate will have technician experience of at least 1 year. If you're interested in this opportunity to work in a fast-paced atmosphere, email your resume to reaganauto.ok@gmail.com. What About Bob's Restaurant, the home of Bob's Sunrise Surprise, is located at 610 North Main in McAlester. What About Bob serves up your favorite comfort food 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go down and see Olivia and the gang for breakfast and lunch. What About Bob's Restaurant, open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Check them out on their Facebook page, What About Bob's, 610 North Main in McAlester.
All right, coming up on the dying minutes of the 8 o'clock hour, this is Brandon Green, your voice of the Buffaloes, joined alongside head coach of McAlester Tennis, Chris Burns, here with episode 24 of Running with the Herd. Again, it looks like we have 3 or 4, maybe even 5 more episodes before we are done with the 2024-2025 season. But Chris Burns, in for his second edition of the show, we get to learn more things. This is your third?
I was,
What did
I was the
miss?
very first one.
Yeah,
before
volleyball.
Oh,
Okay.
because then we had a
Regionals.
second edition of volleyball.
Yeah.
So this is your
This is-
third
I'm-
edition.
I'm your favorite one, I know.
Yes, you are. I mean, well, Coach Billy and Coach Coffin really tried to match you there, and they did. I mean, well, no, Coffin was here twice, and so was Billy, but we had 3 different wrestling editions. But yeah, you and Coach Billy and Kaufman.
All right, I'm gonna find Coach Billy and make sure that he doesn't get a third one.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so we got to ask you things that maybe people have never heard about you before.
That's- Good luck.
Well, first off, we can start off with tennis because we mentioned volleyball a little bit ago, but we didn't get to really dive into tennis. We asked your players. We can ask you now. What was your start in tennis?
Well, actually, it was some random summer afternoon. Some friends of my brother and I, some family friends back when I think I was 12, said, "Hey, go play." And Mom went to go get a little junior Agassi racket from Walmart for me. And then after that, it's like Tim played a bunch of tennis, and I did just about anything that Tim did, and started playing. And then the turning point was actually when Coach Waller came in my 8th grade year, and so I started taking lessons and kind of invested in me, and I worked really, really hard, and it's been the big part of the last almost 20 years.
It's weird looking back on it.
But I mean, that's really it. And then just kind of ended up. I loved playing baseball growing up, and looking at it was the same season. Another one, Mia Smith was the junior high coach, kind of coming to practice as a 5th, 6th grader, hanging out, and they were kind of asking baseball, tennis, which one are you going to do? And I was not the baseball star that I wanted to be, behind a guy that was really good, and might as well go do some tennis, and I guess it worked out.
Now look at you now.
I know.
So what has been your favorite tennis memory of all time so far? It's tough. You mentioned 20 years worth.
Yeah, I mean there's been a whole lot.
Erica says it's been coaching her.
That it is definitely some type of a memory.
Hopefully a good one.
It might be the memories that wake you up at night screaming.
It sure is a memory.
Nightmares or dreams too, Erica.
So close.
Man.
There's the favorites hard. Like there's been a lot of them. Watching the theme has mostly been helping and watching some of these kids that for better or worse, tennis, they can plug their ears if it hurts their feelings. Tennis doesn't usually get the star athletes. Like you heard Chris just say a second ago, my basketball career wasn't what I thought it was going to be, so I might as well try this.
Mm-hmm.
And these kids that have tried anything and everything, and their parents just want them to be good at something or to try something, and then all of a sudden he's 3-time with counting junior high, 3-time state qualifier, sitting in a great spot for a full, very, very successful tennis player because my basketball career didn't pan out. And being, I always say this one, and despite popular belief, it is with all the love in my heart, like taking the island of misfit toys and showing them that, hey, you guys are actually good at something, and watching that spark. Erica never showed up to practice her freshman year.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Like you just told her say just a second ago that it kind of was fun, and now she's in a spot to go for a second straight year to the state tournament. All these kids that, had nothing, and then they find their groove, and watching some of them grow over
That's
the time.
incredibly cool to me.
It's great, and seeing some of the success and the light and the just that spark when we made it to state with all of the hours of you're gonna be okay is like I'm doing this for a purpose. I don't actually hate you. Like this is a spot that we can go to the state tournament in. Just trust the process, and then all of a sudden that sense of relief and excitement when they get that goal is always a fun thing. But other than that, personally, that's the fun part now. Not really anything tennis playing wise. It just kind of all folds together after a while. That
Right.
kind of, the real memories on the personal side would just be kind of the road trips and the time going around playing tournaments and hanging out with drop a cup and going in the summers. Mom would take me everywhere, and with my brother, with my sister when they went off to college, taking Chance Sistrunk and Devin Lynn and making everybody go play, dropping all the names here, dropping all the names here, but making them come play tournaments with me. And now because of that, made some really, really great friends. That's kind of why we went up to Stillwater, because A, we got to go to OSU, and B, I like hanging out with Chance.
Yeah.
But and then so they say things about the Durant tennis team because that's one of my college roommates is the Durant coach and a really great friend, and so we kind of group up and getting some of those lifelong friendships out of it because of all the fun that we've gotten to have over the past 2 decades.
That's crazy. What kind of music were you into, Coach Burns? Yes. She was hoping that I was going to ask this question.
You just asked the question that every single one of them has tried to get me.
Really?
Wow. They've tried to
out.
nail me on this question for 2-3 years now.
How in the world did I get you into this one?
They bribed you. I know it.
I did not. My $14 is
I
still
didn't
in my
know her
wallet.
name before this.
It depends on what we're doing. Most of the time, yeah. Go ahead and someone's running for that one. But,
Why is the music the big deal?
honestly, it's more fun to make fun of her than anything.
Okay.
And like she said, it's her pet peeve, and so every now and then just riling up some of the kids.
Dance around the topic.
Yeah, dance around the topic and make it. If I'm not doing anything, a lot of times I'm listening to like talk radio or something boring.
He is doing it again. That's your pet peeve.
Yeah. But man, on the last road trip, we were listening to some '90s country.
I was about to say you were just jamming out to David Lee Murphy over here.
Hitting some bangers when we were waiting for before the show. Some rock music is always fun. A little bit of rap every now and then when there's time for it, but I don't ever have one solid kind of just what I'm feeling that day. But
yeah, it's like I mentioned before the show, food court of music,
Yeah.
whichever one you like at the moment.
This is a day that I'm gonna listen to some '90s girl boss music. There's another one that they were making fun of me for the other day.
Oh,
But
Katy Perry?
yeah, you every now and then you just gotta live your teenage
It's
dream.
not '90s, that's 2000s.
Oh, I don't know.
You're hurting in the
I'm so
heart.
sorry.
You just go with it. They don't know what's
Britney
going on.
Spears.
30 years ago.
Yeah, just roll with it. Don't.
Don't take it too personally. What is Coach Burns' happy place? You have a place that you go to, or just if you're on vacation or you go somewhere, maybe you're just your happy place where you can go to get away from any stress you might have.
I don't know if I want this on camera because then somebody's going to come and find me at that.
The happy place.
They're
Maybe
going to
halfway
ruin it
across
for
the
me.
world,
No,
they're going to travel to find you.
They will. Don't.
No, we won't.
Yeah. Again, watching on camera, they're definitely scheming on me now. Yeah, I always enjoy going back to Grandpa's house in Duncan. There's something just
Yeah.
there's relaxing over there. I mean, it's not too far, but it's somewhere that's far enough that you just get to hang out and enjoy some time with him. It's about the only place I really get to go on some sort of vacation anymore is down to Houston, and that seems to be my yearly misadventure, wandering around that town, hanging out with my sister and brother-in-law, but I mean, if I had a chance to go back anywhere, it would be a little campground up in Newport Beach, Oregon. That I accidentally found one year, but that's again a story for another time.
Yeah, I was about to say, how do you accidentally find a place in Oregon?
Another story for another time. That was a misadventure if I ever had one. But I mean, that would be about the closest places I get to go to the most.
And our last question here. You might have already dealt with both of these in your history in tennis, but would you rather deal with a really bad sunburn, I mean a really bad sunburn, or a sprained ankle?
Sunburn. You can still play and move with the sunburn. It might hurt a little bit, but if you got a rolled ankle, there's so much, like you said earlier, there's so much movement and so much that you're just down. If it's a really bad one, you're done for a month or so before you can start playing again. But I can wear a sleeveless T-shirt or something and deal with a sunburn.
I gotcha. Okay. Thank you, Coach, for your time today. Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up? Pretty good show today. Pretty long one today,
again,
too.
thanks for having us. And like I said, if anybody's in town free, we've got 15th and 16th, Monday, Tuesday coming up is our two home events starting around 3:30 or so. It'd be a really, really fun show to watch these kids play. And then we actually have Hall of Fame tennis coaches coming into town June 13th, putting on a free tennis clinic.
Sweet.
For anybody 8th grade and down, free T-shirt, free hot dogs, some old heads that know a lot and have forgotten more than most people will ever know that just want to come and help anybody and everybody out with some tennis. So we'll get some flyers on that one, kind of pay attention to that. But other than that, I think please come watch us and let's have some fun.
April 14th and 15th, June 13th, the major dates for people in McAlester to be able to go do something pretty cool with McAlester Tennis.
Absolutely.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks for having us.
And we'll talk to you, I'm sure, in the near future. And Coach Burns has been the most recurring figure. Yeah, let's get a fourth one before the year's over. How will we do that? Again, that was Running with the Herd with head coach Chris Burns of McAlester Tennis, brought to you by Reagan Auto and What About Bob's Restaurant. Again, we might be back tomorrow. We might be having two shows back-to-back days. We'll see. Again, that would be tomorrow at 8:30, but we will leave you in a little bit of anticipation to see who that might be tomorrow. So again, if it's tomorrow, guys, don't just have a great day, have a Buffalo day. We'll send you back to regularly scheduled programming here on KNED.